11,000 times a day, 4 million times a year, America's regional airlines take to the skies, providing a vital and growing link in our nation's air travel network. From Adak Island, Alaska, to the Caribbean, from New York City to Bullhead City, Arizona, more than 45 million passengers every year depend on regional carriers to cover the territory. And cover it they do, from coast to coast, border to border, and beyond, serving more than 800 airports in all 50 states, and in Canada, Mexico, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean. Providing an outstanding level of personal, safe, and efficient service, America's 150 regional airlines feature a combined fleet of nearly 2,000 aircraft, including a high percentage of high-technology prop jet and regional jet aircraft. Regional airlines provide outstanding operational performance, safety, and passenger comfort. And because this modern fleet meets or exceeds the federal government's most stringent noise standards, regional carriers are also good neighbors. With over $3 billion in new aircraft orders and options for another $6.5 billion, the regionals have made a firm commitment to the future and to improving on an already impressive safety record. In fact, the 12,000 pilots employed by regional carriers have the same air transport rating as the major jet carriers. And the majority receive continuous training in state-of-the-art flight simulators.
Piloting requires high-technology training techniques. Today, we use sophisticated flight simulators to provide our pilots with the highest standards of proficiency and safety.
As a professional regional airline pilot, I am extremely well trained and dedicated to providing the passenger with a safe and rewarding flight.
I know the importance of doing the best job possible. Just getting you from point A to point B isn't good enough. That's why we strive for on-time performance and the most comfortable flight possible.
The size and scope of today's regional carriers reflects a trend that has evolved since the airline industry was deregulated in 1978. Since that time, most of the airlines, then considered regionals, have been either absorbed by major or national carriers, grew up to become national carriers themselves, or could simply no longer compete. Today's regionals have stepped in to fill the void. In fact, a number of today's regional carriers actually qualify as national airlines by the Department of Transportation standard of $100 million in annual revenue. Regional airlines range between several million and $200 million in revenue a year. In addition, almost half of the aircraft operated by regional airlines are new generation turboprop planes and regional jets, seating as many as 68 passengers. In an era marked by escalating competition and dramatic changes in fuel prices and economic conditions, America's regional carriers remain healthy and viable. Since deregulation, passenger boardings and revenue passenger miles have more than tripled and will continue to increase substantially in the 90s. In fact, regional system growth continues to outperform the average annual growth of the large major carriers by 300%. Industry projections indicate that by the year 2001, regional passenger enplanements will exceed 85 million, nearly double what they are today. But more important than size and growth is the critical role that regionals play as the vital link between small and medium-sized communities and the nation's hub airports. In serving more than 800 North American airports, 71% of which depend on the regionals exclusively for air transportation, they are a vital supplement to the large jet carriers who provide service to less than a third of our nation's airports. Communities of all sizes and descriptions in each and every state rely on regional airlines in unprecedented numbers. In many cases, the regionals provide their only access to the worldwide air transportation network. But the traveling public has also discovered that regional carriers are a safe, cost-effective, and time-saving alternative to driving. And the convenient, close-in parking at most smaller airports is an added plus.
Most of my clients are in the smaller cities, so I spend a lot of time flying the regional airlines. My clients count on me, I count on the regionals.
I own my own business, so I can't spend a lot of time between clients. I depend upon the regionals.
They're safe, they're reliable, they're friendly. Besides, without them, I couldn't get there from here.
I fly regionals all the time. It sure beats driving.
While serving 98% of all airports receiving scheduled air service, regionals also constitute an increasingly larger percentage of operations at major airports. At Chicago's O'Hare International, the world's busiest airport, approximately 25% of the total daily non-stop departures are operated by regional carriers. In many instances, U.S.-based regional airlines also provide the only international air service between U.S. gateway airports and destinations in the Bahamas, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. Millions of passengers utilize regional carriers for their international journeys. As part of the largest travel system in the world, the majority of regional carriers work in close harmony with the major airlines. Through the use of common tickets, shared airport facilities, coordinated flight schedules, joint fares, and interline agreements for the handling of baggage and cargo, regional carriers are fully integrated partners in the U.S. air transportation system. In fact, 96% of all regional airline passengers fly on carriers linked to major airlines, and the vast majority of the 50 largest regionals use the two-letter designator code of a larger airline. While increasing in size and importance, regional carriers still take particular pride in the entrepreneurial spirit that brought them so far. And that translates into a special brand of personalized passenger service that is unsurpassed in the skies today. The 35,000 employees of regional carriers are highly trained professionals who are committed to getting you where you want to go, when you need to be there, with the safety, comforts, and conveniences you've come to associate with modern air travel.
I take great pride in my job because I know our fleet of aircraft is maintained to the highest government and industry standards.
I like to treat all my passengers the way I want to be treated.
Everybody talks about service these days. Service is something we've always provided. Our industry grew up on it.
America's regional airlines, providing our communities with a vital link to the world.